Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be part of Nokia's Real Talk, and that's just what we're going to do. We're going to kick off everything with some real talk here. Before we can move forward, we actually have to take a step back to appreciate where we are in the present, even though these are disruptive times before we move forward. See, I can't call these times the new normal, nor can I think about the future as the next normal. I think normal was part of the problem to begin with, and I think striving for mediocrity or settling for mediocrity is not okay in a time of both great disruption and also great opportunity for innovation. Let's talk about that word, innovation. I think often when companies look at their innovative strategies, or when they talk about becoming innovative, or when they invest in technologies or new opportunities or new solutions that may seem innovative because it's new to them, it's not really innovative to the industry, or more importantly to the customer or the customer's customer. Oftentimes when we look at, for example, 5G on the horizon, we think about things much more iteratively but confuse it with iteration. But there's a real difference. It's not that iteration is bad, it's just different, right? Iteration is doing the same things, investing in new technologies to improve efficiencies, to scale, to do things better. Innovation, however, is creating new value or unlocking new value. And I see the combination of both of those things will lead to disruption, which is, or could lead to disruption, I should say, which is doing these new things that make the old things obsolete. So for example, there's a famous quote about the light bulb was not invented from the continuous improvement or iteration of candles. At some point, it just had to jump the curve, as they say, to the next thing. And that's what I want to talk to you about, because that is real talk. We've got 5G coming. We have all kinds of incredible technologies, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, if we want to call it that. We have, I'm talking about quantum so much, and it's so far yet so close. But we have, I think there's 30 different technologies all sort of looming around out there with AI and autonomous vehicles and robotics, essentially this fourth industrial revolution. But I want to get my arms around it with you here today. We are not in a new normal or the next normal. We are not striving for iteration. We're striving for iteration and innovation. So I call these times the novel economy, and I want us to be prepared for how we think about this future, how we rethink or reimagine this fourth industrial revolution for a new opportunity for us, for our partners, for our customers and their customers. I call these times the novel economy. And the novel economy is essentially inspired by the novel coronavirus, because like the novel coronavirus, novel itself just simply means new and unusual. These times are without precedent. But more importantly, they're without a vaccine for businesses alike. They are without a playbook, and they are without a checklist or case studies that we can just follow forward. The novel economy starts with surviving. Let's figure out business continuity. Let's help our partners figure out business continuity. The next phase is alive. Let's figure out how not to just adjust for this new normal, but to think about the next economy, so that we're gaining the skill sets. We're thinking about the new solutions, the disruptions, so that we can invest in technologies and solutions and operational innovation and digital business model innovation, so that we raise the bar, so that we change the game for phase 3, which is thrive. That's a post-COVID world where we are innovating our way forward, unlocking new value, rethinking business models and operational models. Because that's where we're headed. Otherwise everybody else is just heading for this new normal and this next normal, but we're better than that. We've got so many exciting things happening right now. So beyond connectivity revenue, 5G is going to need its killer apps for both consumers and also businesses, right? So there's a coming wave of hype. What am I talking about? We're already deluged in hype. But there's also the potential for disillusionment. And that means that we don't want to lose any luster in terms of possibilities. We want to reimagine how to generate that killer app or those killer apps for consumers and also businesses alike, and also enterprise partners and technology vendors that we can partner with as well. So on the consumer side of things, we have to consider, well, what are our partnerships to deliver innovative consumer services or consumer experiences? Customer experiences are more important than ever before. In fact, Salesforce just released its State of the Connected Customer report, and in it, it says both business customers and also consumers, 80% of them combined, said that experiences are as or more important than the products or services you sell. So let me give you an example. Last year, at this time actually, it was Thanksgiving Day, now that I think about it, I was invited to the Chainsmokers concert in San Francisco, where they were going to reveal a 5G activation that was special just for that audience. The 5G was actually deployed within the Chase Arena. And during a particular song, I think it was called Can I Call You Mine, they unlocked or unleashed this 5G activation, this augmented reality solution. As you were holding your phone up, you were actually able to see they have this digital mascot that sort of tours with them. As they were playing, this mascot is singing along with them, and it sort of brought to life a whole new dimension. Was it the killer app? No, but it was definitely a glimpse of possibility. And I think that's where I want to focus us today, is this possibility, the art of the possible. See, we don't know the future solutions today. This is why there's so much hype around 5G. Well, what are the killer apps? Well, let's start to figure those out. I actually believe that in these times we need to think more like Disney. We need to think more like Secret Cinema out of the UK that kind of converges this Broadway-like and movie-like cinema experience where you're part of the storyline. Or The Void, which was born out of Utah, which is essentially an immersive video game experiment where you are walking around wearing gear, haptic gear, virtual reality goggles, where you and your team are in a game or in a movie, and you experience it and you feel it. We need to think like game designers to move forward, because essentially you can unlock retail, you can unlock real world experiences, not just with 5G, but with exciting new partnerships that can create worlds that we didn't imagine or couldn't even activate until today. See, every time we hold up one of these devices or whatever the next device is, we are looking into windows or through windows into new worlds. And those worlds, those platforms and services, they need, as Disney would call it, Imagineering. We need to imagine what tomorrow looks like, but build for it today. So, for example, we need to create experience stores or experience centers where consumers and business customers can come in to experience what tomorrow is like today. Because that's the thing. We don't know what we don't know. Magic has to come to life like we might see at Disney World or Disneyland. And that is all about Imagineering, is to sort of invent the impossible to make it possible. That's what I love about these times so much. So, for example, if you think about an innovation center, I don't mean just to kind of showcase all of the shiny objects, but actually to demonstrate the possibilities as an artist or as a creative or as an innovator. Because if you think about it, Sir Ken Robinson talks about creativity being an important, or actually more important than literacy. I don't know that it's more important, but it's definitely important. And his whole argument was that we sort of taught creativity out of children to prepare them for the real world, to put them in these linear processes and these hierarchical structures. But essentially, though, creativity is more important now than ever. We need to imagine things that don't exist today, and we weren't trained to be creative or innovative in the roles that we're in today. Yet that's exactly how we have to think as a technologist, as a designer, as a programmer, as a strategist, as an executive. So let's break this down. We talked about consumer. Now let's talk about enterprise. Enterprise too needs to see an experience center, right? If they can't imagine the future, well, someone's got to help them imagine that. Somebody's got to help them imagineer that way forward. That's, I think, why we're here together. That's our real talk, because the pandemic accelerated digital transformation. And some estimates, the roadmaps that were 10 years out, artificial intelligence, machine learning, mixed reality, automation in terms of RPA. I mean, these are things that are fast forwarding to today, right? This is phase one of the novel economy. This is stuff that we're doing right now that was 10 years out because we had to do it. We had to make incredible shifts. And now that we saw that we can do the impossible, now the whole world is our oyster. What can we possibly do next? Well, we know that we have IoT, we have IIoT, we have sensors, we have edge, we have 5G. So what can we give? What machines, what processes can we give a voice to send that voice in terms of data back, to interpret, to analyze, to find patterns, to maybe eventually make decisions where machines are doing that on our behalf, and we're freed to think about new creative solutions of what else we can do with technology, like the conductors of an orchestra. These are new possibilities that have to be imagined, and they have to be built into sophisticated, integrated, and even, customer service solutions and products. I guess that's the best way to put it, is that people on the buy side, whether that's your business customer or that's your enterprise customer or that's your consumer, they just need a little help in seeing what they need, but don't know they need. And once they have it, they can't live without it. That's what Walt Disney was so good at. That's what Steve Jobs was so good at. That's what Elon Musk, love him or hate him, is so good at. They're changing the world. And that's what we're about to do, because the world is already changing. Think about this as an architect or an artist bringing to life these new worlds, these new possibilities, these new integrated solutions, these services, these partnerships that can help us get there, where imagination and curiosity and a little invention or a lot of invention goes a long way. So I want you to think about it this way. Customer experience and business customer experience are incredible differentiators and competitive advantages. So with IIoT and IoT and sensors and edge and mixed reality, we can bring these new worlds to life. We can give machines and processes a voice. But all that takes is you. Of course, there's the iterative parts of all of this. In the novel economy, we still need to iterate forward. We have to improve the things that need improving, but there are also things that need inventing. And so we have to think forward. I call it infinite digital transformation. It's this concept of digital transformation being ongoing, never-ending, ceaseless, but also splitting it into human-centered operational innovation and also iteration, combined with business model innovation and business model iteration, using all of these new technologies and these new capacities. Look, it's not just about enabling new products and services. It's not just about partnerships. These are things we have to do. They have to be split into iteration and innovation, but it's also about how you want to improve how you work, how you think, how you create, so that you are demonstrating or exuding operational excellence at a time where people are still trying to figure out how to survive in the new normal so they can be ready for the next normal. You're already over that. You're shooting for the moon. It's a moonshot. So, leaving this real talk, you play a role in how all of this will come to life. Through imagination, through Imagineering, you'll set the stage, actually, for phase 2 in the novel economy, for thriving in phase 3, where business customers and consumers will experience these new immersive worlds, these new incredible business services and products that help everyone thrive together forward. This is your time.